Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir wa tammim bil khair. In the previous lesson, we learned about the alphabet and then the harakat, that's the vowel signs, and then also some other like sukoon and tashdid. Now, inshallah, we move on. As we progress from the letters, we move on to the words now. And inshallah, then we will continue. And from the words, we will move on to the phrases. And from the phrases, we will move on to the sentences. So we start from word. It's called kalimatun. A meaningful combination of letters is called a word. Why do we say meaningful combination? Because there can be a combination that is not meaningful. Let's look at the example. In English, we have pen. It's P-E-N. But if we make it E-P-N, it's a combination of letters, but it's not meaningful. Similarly, if we make it N-P-E, it's a combination of letters, but it's not meaningful. So that's why kalima is a meaningful combination of letters. And we can see here, similarly in Arabic, we have qalamun. So it makes sense and it means a pen. But if we change, for example, if we make it mim lam qaf or lam mim qaf lamaqun, that wouldn't make any sense. Similarly, we have rajulun, that means a man. And then we have ma'rifatun, that means knowledge. So all of these are meaningful words and all of them have meaning, clear meaning. So kalima is basically a meaningful combination of letters. Then we move on to the types of words in Arabic. And there are only 3 types of words in Arabic. As we have seen that kalima is meaningful combination of words. And the 3 types that we can see here are ismun, noun, fi'lun, verb, harfun is particle or preposition. We learned huruf in the previous lesson, but those huruf are alphabet, as we discussed that they are used to construct or make words. But these huruf are called particles or prepositions. So these are meaningful and they will have their own meaning, and inshallah, when we proceed further, we will see in detail. So we have ismun, fi'lun, wa harfun. Now let's see the difference between parts of speech in English and in Arabic. When we see parts of speech and when we see noun, ismun in Arabic, we can see that it's just noun, as we can see here, ismun, but it covers a lot of things. It covers, first of all, noun itself. It also covers pronoun like he, she, huwa, or hiya. Similarly, it covers the adjective like beautiful, jamilun. It also covers adverb like dharf, like before or after. And similarly, interjection and conjunctions like we have the ta'ajjub and we have exclamations. So all of them will be the part of noun. So noun is very rich in Arabic language. As we can see, it covers everything. So basically we call them noun. However, when we see or when we look at them separately, they will be pronoun or adjective or adverb or interjection. So first, inshallah, we will begin with the noun because we can see it's very comprehensive. Then we have fi'lun, which is verb. As we know, verb is action like to eat, to sleep. So verb in English is easier, but in Arabic, it's like a little bit comprehensive. And then harfun is particle, and inshallah, we will learn throughout the lessons like different types of huruf, and we will learn them one by one. Harf is something that is meaningless. It does not have any meaning by itself. We have to put it with a noun or a verb to give the meaning. So let's begin with the noun. So what is noun? It is called ismun. And noun is basically the name of a person, like Zaidun, place like Baladun, a country, animal like Filun, an elephant, thing, like kitabun, a book, or an idea, dhikrun, a remembrance or a remembrance. So basically, noun is the name of a person, place, animal, thing, or idea. As you can see the examples over here. Next, how to recognize a noun. How would we know, especially being a beginner, how would I know if it's a noun or a verb or a harf or a particle? So a noun is generally recognized by a tanween that we discussed in the previous lesson. That tanween is a combination of two vowels, two short vowels, like dammatan or fathatan or kasratan. So it is recognized by a tanween or by placing al with that. So kitabun, how would we know that it's a noun? Because it has a tanween on it. Kitaban, again we can see that it has a tanween, and kitabin, it has kasratan, so it also has a tanween. So now we can see that it is a noun in Arabic language. Why? Because it carries a tanween. It can be dammatan, fathatan, or kasratan. And similarly, we have al-kitabu. We have al with that. Then we have al-kitaba and al-kitabi. Again, all of them, they will be noun. Now, a very important thing that we need to know, that al and tanween never come together in one word. They never come together in one word. So for example, here, if we say al-kitabu, al-kitabun, so basically this is wrong. What is the correct way of writing it? It will be al-kitabu, al-kitabu. That's number one. Number two, also remember that tanween and al, they never come with a verb or with a harf. They never come with a particle, or they never come with a verb. They always come with the noun. So two things we need to remember, that noun never takes al and tanween together. That's number one. And number two, al and tanween never come with the verb. They always come with a noun. In order to be able to understand noun, we have to understand the properties of the noun. And as we can see over here, there are four properties of a noun. So it is very, very important for us to know, like, the properties of the noun. And inshallah, it's just the beginning. So you might find it a little bit like there is too much of grammar and it might sound a little bit difficult. But once you have a strong base, inshallah, it will help you for the rest of your journey of learning Arabic. And let's not forget that inna ma'al usri yusra, there is always ease with the difficulty. So we have to be patient, we have to be consistent, and we have to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we remain steadfast. So there are four properties of a noun, and we will discuss, and we will discuss in detail one by one. First, we have a look what are those. So the first one is capacity. An-nakiratu wal-ma'rifatu, that a noun can be indefinite or definite. An-nakira, indefinite, and ma'rifa is definite. Al-jinsu, the gender. Al-adadu, so this is a mistake over here, there shouldn't be tanween. Al-adadu, number. And al-i'rabu, again, there shouldn't be a tanween, that's a mistake, so it is status. So capacity, gender, number, and status. If you want to understand what a noun is, you must know these four things about the noun. Without knowing these four things, we will not be able to understand the complete sentences. And when we start our book number 1, inshallah, after a couple of lessons, you will see that this information will help us a lot. So 4 things that we need to know: capacity, gender, number, and status. Al-nakiratu wal-ma'rifatu, al-jinsu, al-adadu, wal-i'rabu. Let's begin with the capacity. And I would like you to remember these things in the same order, because we are going to talk about these like almost every day. So that's why it's very important that we remember them in order. If we don't remember them in order, that's not a problem. But for the sake of ease and comfort, we will inshallah go like this. So the first thing that we will discuss about is the capacity. An-nakiratu wal-ma'rifatu. And we can see here that noun is divided into two kinds. What are those two kinds? An-nakiratu, indefinite, wal ma'rifatu, definite. And initially, I will provide you with the both, like I will provide you with the English and the Arabic translation. But inshallah, with the passage of time, we have to get used to the Arabic terms only, and there is no need to focus on the English terms because our ultimate target is to learn Arabic. Now, let's see what is indefinite noun. What is an-nakira? A common noun. So basically, we can see here that a common noun that ends with a tanween is called an-nakira. Very simple. A common noun that ends with a tanween is called nakira. It equals a or an in English. And when we see here, for example, jannatun, and look at the translation of jannatun, what is the translation? A garden. So we can see over here that it equals a or an. So jannatun, a garden. And why it is nakira? Because it has tanween and it is a common noun. A mountain, jabalun, again, it has a tanween and it's a common noun. It means any mountain and any garden. And rasulun, a messenger, and it refers to any messenger and not specific messenger. So that's why we have rasulun, that means a messenger. So a common noun that ends with tanween is called a nakira. And in English, generally, it gives the meaning of a or an, because there is nothing equal to a or an in English language. So how do we understand? We have to understand by the vowel signs, and these vowel signs will tell us how to translate it. Then we have definite, al-ma'rifa. Definite nouns are proper names given to a specific person, place, or thing. So these are basically proper names that are given to a specific person, place, or thing. And you can always relate it to the English language. Both common nouns and proper nouns, or indefinite, indefinite, and definite, they are similar to English. So whatever we have in English, they are similar to Arabic as well. So that's why, inshallah, it will be easy for us to understand the difference between common noun and proper noun. Now here we have al-jannatu. So it equals the. In English, when al is added to a common noun, so it's not always translated as the. It will be wrong to translate it the all the time. But whenever al is added, as we can see here, whenever al is added to a common noun, and please remember that we can only add al to a common noun. We cannot add al to a proper noun. That's not possible because the noun itself is proper. So we cannot make it proper. So that's not possible. So al-jannatu, the translation, look here, the garden. When it was jannatun, it was a garden. But when we say al-jannatu, then it is the garden. Then we have Makkatu, Makkah, and it's a proper name. It's a proper place. So there is no need to say al-Makkah with that. Similarly, Zainabu, and then we have Zaidun. Now you might be thinking, like with al, we don't use tanween, right? Al does not take tanween, as we discussed earlier. Why Makkah and Zainab do not have tanween? And inshallah, we will discuss about this when we proceed further. It's not a mistake. It's because this is the requirement that here we don't have to put tanween and here we don't have to put tanween. It's not possible to put it with every noun. We can put it with, yes.
Why does Zaidun has the tasneem?
Yeah, it's a very good question. So that's what I was about to tell you, that it's not necessary that all the nouns that are proper nouns, they do not take tanween. Some of them, they will take tanween. So how do we know if it's a common noun or a proper noun? As I told you, first of all, if you know in English, you will be able to understand that when we say kitab, when we say a book, that means any book. So that means kitabun. But when we say the book, that means we are referring to a specific book. So that will be al-kitabu. So that is easy to understand. Also, please remember that most of the nouns in Arabic language, whether they are common noun or proper noun, they take tanween. Most of them, and especially the names of the persons. Most of the names of the persons, they take tanween. Not the names of the places. Names of places, generally, they don't take tanween. But the names of persons like Salimun, Hamidun, Muhammadun, Mahmudun, Zaidun, they take tanween. And you will know the reason, inshallah, when you proceed further, like why do they take tanween? Because basically they are not proper nouns. We make them proper nouns. Because Hamidun is someone who praises a lot. So that is not a proper noun. But when we name someone as Hamid, then it becomes a proper noun. Similarly, when we say Sajidun, someone who is like doing prostration or who is prostrating a lot, Sajidun. So that means who is Sajidun? He is someone who prostrates a lot. But when we name someone as Sajidun, then it becomes a proper noun and it has to carry tanween. We cannot drop it. So now we can see over here that al can't be added to Makkah or Zaidun as they are definite by nature. So with the proper nouns, we cannot add al, that's not possible. However, if there is a common noun and we want to transfer it into a proper noun, then we have to use al with that. You have to be slightly patient. I know lots of things are like, you are thinking about lots of things and ideas, but inshallah, with the passage of time, when we proceed further, we will discuss everything, inshallah, in detail. And that's why you might have seen that we started from complete beginning. We started from the alphabet and then the vowels, and then slowly and surely we are moving further. So how many types are there for the capacity? How many types are there?
Two.
Okay.
Two. What are those? Ma'rifatu. Excellent. Yeah, as of now, we need to remember only these two things, okay? Then I have a good news for you over here, that every noun in Arabic is indefinite by default. By default. So whenever you look at the noun for the first time, okay, here you go. You think it's a common noun. So by default, whenever you look at a noun, it is indefinite or it is nakira by default. For example, kitabun, qalamun, kubun, jawalun, hasubun, anything you look at this, okay, you will think that this is a common noun. The first impression that should come to your mind, that it's a common noun. However, there are some categories that will tell us that it's a proper noun. So did you get the idea? When you look at the noun, okay, it's a common noun. But there are few categories, as we are going to discuss now, not all of them, only few categories that we are able to start the book. And inshallah, throughout the book, then we will discuss all of them one by one. So the first category that tells us that the noun is a definite noun or is marifa is ismun alamun. Ismun alamun meaning proper noun. Alam is used for the flag, so something that is rising, and that's why it is called ismun alamun, proper noun. So the name of a specific person like Muhammadun, place like Misru, or thing, or the place as well, Jahannamu. So the proper noun is a proper noun and it's called ismun alamun. So we know that by nature it's a proper noun. For example, we know even in English, like for example, we say London or we say Pakistan or America or any other place, we know that we don't use the with them. We don't have to because they are proper nouns. So similarly here we can see that specific places or specific persons, they are always proper nouns. However, you need to notice over here something. Just notice, please. Don't worry about it. Just notice that Muhammadun has tanween, but Misru and Jahannamu do not have tanween. As of now, I will only give you a small hint that the names of persons, they can carry tanween, but the things and places they will not. But the names of the persons, whether they are common noun or proper noun, they can carry tanween, as we can see over here. Muhammadun, Bilalun, Hamidun, Majidun. So it's possible. That's number one. Number two, now as I said that we need to know in Arabic, so it is called mu'arraf.
In the last slide, you told that only Zaidun and some specific noun names will carry the tanween.
Exactly.
And most of them is not carrying. But now you are saying Muhammadun and Talibun, Bilalun, mean all these.
Excellent. Yeah, actually what happened, I corrected myself after that. I tried to correct myself that if it's a place or if it's not, it's ghair aqil, if it's not human being, then most of them do not carry tanween. But if it's the name of a person, the name of a person, and I explained that when we say, for example, we say Sajidun, Sajidun is a common noun. Please know that. It's a common noun. However, when you associate it with the person, when you name a person with the name of Sajid, only then it becomes a proper noun. Similarly, Muhammadun is the common noun, by the way. But when you name someone as Muhammadun, because Muhammadun is Ismul Maf'ul, and that means someone who is praised a lot. So in Arabic, by nature, they are common nouns, but when we associate them with someone, then they become a proper noun. So please remember.
In both cases, it will carry tanween. Mean if it is common or proper both.
Excellent. Yeah, common noun always carries a tanween, as I told you. And proper noun, when it's the name of a person, most likely, then it will carry a tanween.
Okay, thank you.
Is this clear? All right. The second one is mu'arraf bil lam. What is mu'arraf bil lam? I told you earlier, but this is now in Arabic. So definite by adding al. So very simple. When a common noun, for example, waladun means a boy. It's a common noun. But when we add al with that, then it becomes the boy. Al waladu, the boy. So what do we call that? Mu'arraf bil lam, that it has been made definite by adding lam only. Basically, we add lam, and this hamza is hamzatul wasl, and we place this hamzatul wasl so that we can read it. So that's why when we say alhamdulillah, basically it is definite by adding only lam, and it is not definite by adding al, but we say al because we have to add hamza so that we can read it. Did you get the idea? So when lam is added, and this is called lamut tarif, that means the lam that makes a common noun a proper noun. So when lam is added to a noun, it becomes a proper noun. When lam is added to a common noun. But the combination is called al. Why it is called al? Because this is hamzatul wasl, and we have to put it so that the noun is readable. Because if it is in the beginning of the sentence, how will you read it? For example, how will you read alhamdulillah? How will you read it?
Not possible.
It's impossible because we cannot start a word in Arabic with sakin, and we know lam is sakin. So that's why we have to place that hamza, and it's called hamzatul wasl. And that's why, and it is always recited with fatha. Please remember, this hamza with al is always recited with fatha. We cannot recite it with dhamma or kasra. It's not possible. We can't say ul and we cannot say il. We always have to recite it with or read it with fatha. So it will be alhamdulillah, as we can see over here. So that's why we will say al waladu. And the reason I'm not putting fatha on that, because this is hamzatul wasl, and we know hamzatul wasl normally has a small sad on that. There is a small sign of sad. If you look in the Musaf in the Quran, it has a small sign of sad, like the first part of sad, and like the harf sad, it will have onto this, and that means that this is hamzatul wasl. So the Musaf that you see in subcontinent, it has fatha on that, but the Musaf that you see in the Middle East, you will see that it has only small sad on that, and it is called hamzatul wasl. And number 3, asma'ul ishara. Our book starts with asma'ul ishara, so that's why I have decided to add asma'ul ishara as well. Demonstrative pronouns. So all asma'ul ishara, for example, hada and dhalika, this and that, they are proper nouns. They are proper nouns. Okay. And we have 7 categories. We have discussed 3 so far, because only 3 we need to start the book, and the rest of the 4 categories, inshallah, we will discuss and we will add to the list when we proceed with the lessons, because I don't really want to give you all the information in the beginning, and when we start the book we are confused what exactly is going on. So we will only take the information that is enough for us to start the book. Okay, so how many types of definite nouns are there? Marifa, we have discussed so far. We have discussed 3. What are those?
Proper noun.
Proper noun. Proper noun ismun alamun. Yes, made definite by al.
Ma'riful billah.
Excellent.
Asma'ul ishara.
Asma'ul ishara. So these 3 we need to remember. Excellent.
3 types.
Perfect. Yes,
3 types.
that's what we need to remember. Excellent. Perfect. And then a little bit more about the gender. Al-jinsu. So the gender, there are only 2 genders in Arabic. And what are those? Very simple. Al-mudhakkaru والمؤنث. Excellent. Masculine and feminine. Okay. So now you can see that capacity and gender, they are a set of two. How they are a set of two? Because capacity has indefinite and definite. And similarly, gender has masculine and feminine. So they have a set of two. And inshallah, when we discuss the next two that are like status and the next one, the number, they will have three. So we focus only on these two. So capacity and gender, they have a set of two. Al-mudhakkaru wal-mu'annathu. So I will just give you a small hint of how to recognize mudhakkar and mu'annas, and inshallah then we will finish our lesson. And then another news that we have over here, and this is based off, alhamdulillah, my perception of like what I have learned. These are the conclusions that I have taken from different books, and I have decided to put them in the form of rules so that these things will become easier for us. First, we said every noun in Arabic is nakira, common. Now, the second news that I have for you is that every noun in Arabic is al-mudhakkar by default. So every noun, when you look at it in Arabic by default, for example, kitabun, qalamun, kursiyun, maktabun, anything that you look at it for the first time, you will consider it as what? Al-mudhakkaru. Masculine. Except for the few categories, okay? And for those categories, we will see that the noun is feminine, otherwise it will be masculine, all right? So the first default, by default, the noun is what? It is al-mudhakkaru, it is masculine. So the first one, we know the real gender, al-mu'annathu al-haqiqi, the real gender, that has a female counterpart like humans and animals. So of course, humans and animals, they have female counterpart. So that's why we call that al-mu'annathu al-haqiqi, the real gender. For example, we have abun in English, father, and we have ummun, mother in English as well. So father and mother. So we have abun and ummun. So where is the feminine? Ummun is the feminine because it is the female counterpart. Similarly, we have ibnun, a son, and then we have ibnatun, a daughter. And again, this is the female counterpart. And then we have hisanun for the horse, and farasun, a mare, which is also the female counterpart. So number one, the real gender, al-mu'annathu al-haqiqiyu, the real gender, that's number one. Number two, very common, words ending with rounded ta, at-ta'u al-marbutatu, rounded ta. We know that there are two types of ta in Arabic. One ta is at-ta al-maftuha, the long ta, and this is called at-ta al-marbuta. Why it is called ta marbuta? Because as we can see, it is rounded. So that's why it is called at-ta al-marbuta. So a noun that ends with ta al-marbuta is feminine. Is what? Mu'annath or feminine. For example, salatun, prayer. So it's feminine. Why? Because it ends with ta marbuta. Zakatun, charity. Again, it's feminine because it ends with ta marbuta. Jannatun ends with ta marbuta. Ummatun, a nation, also ends with ta marbuta. And baqaratun, Surah Baqarah in the Quran. So baqaratun, a cow, also it is ta marbuta, and that's why it is feminine. So basically, feminine is very easy to recognize. Number one, we look at the female counterpart. And number two, when we see ta marbuta and also ta maftuha, both of them. For example, muslimatun, salihatun, mu'minatun. So even ta maftuha, most of the times when we have ukhtun, when we have ta maftuha, that is also feminine. So you can add to your list a noun that ends with rounded ta, or a noun that ends with the long ta, or we can say ta al maftuha. Now we need to know that English and Arabic are languages, and it's not mathematics.
Example for ta maftuha?
Muslimatun.
But here it is not written.
Yeah, it's not written exactly. So something that popped up now. For example, Muslimatun, Mu'minatun, Kafiratun, and inshallah that's for the future reference, because when we will change masculine into feminine, then we will see.
But in Muslimatun, but in the end, it ends with tun, and it is.
It has ta maftuha. I'm saying, brother, the long ta.
Okay.
The long ta. So there are two types of ta in Arabic. One is like the boat shape, the long one, which is the letter, right? And then there is another ta, which is called ta al marbuta, the short ta or the rounded ta. So whether it ends with ta al marbuta, we will focus only on this one as of now, and inshallah we leave it to the next lessons. Ta al maftuha. So we have exceptions because language is not mathematics. You know, in mathematics we have 2 + 2 is 4, and it has to be 4 all the time. We cannot make it 5 or 3. But in language we always have exceptions, and you have to be ready for the exceptions. All right. So what are the exceptions over here? Sometimes, and I'm just giving you a gist, and inshallah with the passage of time, with the experience, you will learn and you will come to know whether it's masculine or feminine. But 99.9% of the nouns that end with ta marbuta, they are feminine, 99.9%. So that means exceptions are very few. Some words ending with ta marbuta can be masculine. For example, khalifatun, a successor. So when you look at the meaning in English, you will come to know that khalifatun in the Quran also it has been inni ja'ilun khalifa. So in the Quran also it is used as masculine. So khalifatun is masculine. Similarly, usamatu and hamzatu, these are masculine names, but they do not have tanween, and there is a reason for that. And inshallah, these reasons we will discuss in detail. So we can see over here that it's a masculine name. So we cannot say Osama is a feminine, right? By default, we know these names. Alhamdulillah, we are Muslims, and we know that our Muslim brothers, they have these names like Osama and Hamza and all these names. So because these are the masculine names, that's why we will not say that they are feminine. However, if you want to recognize a noun, it's very simple. You look at ta marbuta, 99%, inshallah, it will be a feminine noun. So there are only 2 things that we have discussed so far. Number 1, the real counterpart or the feminine counterpart, or al-mu'annath al-haqiqi. And number 2, a noun that ends with ta marbuta. Is everything clear?
Yes.
Any
Yes,
questions? Okay, perfect. So it's a time for test now. Now it's time for the test. So inshallah, you will answer these questions now. There are types of words in Arabic.
3 types.
3 types of
Okay, excellent. There are properties of noun.
4.
4.
5 types.
4 properties of noun. Yeah, we are talking about the properties. Please be careful. Capacity, status, number, and gender. 4 properties. Okay.
Yes.
Which 2 properties of noun did we learn in this lesson?
Capacity
Definite
and
and
gender.
Capacity
and gender.
Excellent. Capacity, an-nakira wal marifa. And then the second one is gender, which is
Al-jinsu.
al-jinsu, al-mudhakkar wal mu'annath. Excellent. Now we have the next question where you have to tell me if it's true or false. Every noun in Arabic is masculine by default.
True.
Okay, excellent. And every noun in Arabic is indefinite by default.
Yes.
True.
Excellent. Perfect. Ahsantum. I'm so happy. MashaAllah, you are following up and your answers are perfect. Now, there are a little bit or few more questions that we have to answer over here. Now, I will not ask you the question. You will tell me what it is and whether it is masculine or feminine, and whether it is a common noun or proper noun. Yes, baqaratun.
Baqaratun is
Feminine.
Feminine. Indefinite or
feminine,
definite?
nakira.
Nakira. Excellent. Hada.
Hada.
It's getting noisy, so yeah, it will be fine.
Proper noun.
Can you please type the answers in the chat so that it doesn't become noisy? That would be fine if you can type in the chat. Yeah, that would be perfect. So, hada. What do you think? It's a proper. Excellent. It's a proper noun. And why? Because it is ismul ishara. Al-waladu. Yes, what about al-waladu? Proper noun. Excellent. And why it's proper noun? Because it carries al. Okay. What about khalifatun? Khalifatun is common or proper? Nakira. Excellent. Is it masculine or feminine?
It's feminine.
Again,
Masculine.
masculine. It's in the exceptions. Yeah, it's in the exceptions. Okay, you need to be careful. Okay, then we have over here rasulun.
Common noun.
Feminine or masculine?
Masculine.
Masculine. Okay, Al-Fatihatu.
Feminine.
Masculine.
Common.
A common noun.
Feminine.
Feminine. It has ta marbuta, isn't it? What's the name
Yes.
of the first surah of the Quran?
Al-Fatiha.
Al-Fatihatu. Yes, Surah Al-Fatiha. Suratun, because Suratun, the opener, the one who opens something. Fatihun is for the masculine and Fatihatun is for the feminine. And then we have Dhalika. What about Dhalika?
Proper noun.
Proper noun. Okay, and then we have Ummun,
Feminine. Common.
feminine, common noun. Excellent. Perfect. So Alhamdulillah, our lesson finishes here. And inshallah, when we meet again, we will discuss the next two properties. And after completing the next two properties, we will start the book. And inshallah, you will enjoy the book. When you start the book, you will see why do we need to take these lessons. Until then, inshallah, we need to be patient and we have to make sure that and we try to stay consistent. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.